Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to the final part of Kids WB Retrospective. This is part 3. This is the final part. This is when they would change from WB Kids to CW4 Kids, and this is when I completely stopped watching Saturday morning cartoons. So, without further ado, let's get right into the final death years of arguably one of the greatest Saturday morning blocks to ever fucking exist. Alright. It's about that time, y'all. It's about that time. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it.
What an ending. An iconic block spanning over 12 years on television. Of course, there's no way Time Warner, now Warner Media, would drag Kids WB's rotting corpse back to the table and awkwardly force the brand to be something it never was, right? Even though Warner Media had detached and disassociated the programming from Kids WB that made it so popular, the once iconic block was still given a purpose beyond May 17th, 2008. In fact, in April, just before the Saturday morning block was shut down, Kids WB's website was reinvigorated from simply a companion site for the block to a widened, interactive online experience. As Kids WB aired its final Saturday morning blocks, the online network took precedent over the time slot. The Kids WB website became a hub, boasting over 100 web games and a collection of thousands of video clips, all split into 5 individualized pages. These 5 included Kids WB, Kids WB Jr., Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes, and a DC Comics website that interchanged its name multiple times. The Kids WB Jr. website was anchored by clips of Baby Looney Tunes and a collection of Flash games featuring characters from Hanna-Barbera and WB properties. By no means did the company attempt to build a competent rival to places like Nick Jr. or PBS Kids. It was simply content Warner Brothers had already made aimed at a younger demographic. Scooby-Doo.com not only acted as, but actually was the official online website for the Scooby-Doo brand, featuring Flash games, video clips, and promotional content for movies, TV shows, and games based around those meddling kids. The Looney Tunes website operated identically to Scooby-Doo's website, while the DC Comics website altered its name to whatever Warner Brothers came up with at the time, shifting from DC Hero Zone to DC Beyond to DC Nation until landing on DCKids.com. The main Kids WB site streamed a number of shows from The Flintstones, Jetsons, Smurfs, Batman animated series, and Josie and the Pussycats. But this was clearly a library fit more for Boomerang than Kids WB.
Facts.
At launch, corporate expectations were that the Kids WB name would attract fans, as Mattel and McDonald's became the platform's launch advertising. However, shifting Kids WB to an online-only platform, especially in a time before the streaming age, would be difficult not only because of the average household internet speed in the US at the time, but the bigger issue of moving your audience from one platform to another. This is a graph from Google Trends showing the search traffic of Kids WB. The x-axis tracks time, and the y-axis tracks interest. As you can see, while searches generally declined over time, the difference in search interest before and after the Kids WB's shift to being a block on the CW is stark, and it bottomed out even more by the time KidsWB.com became an online interactive network. Very few were ever going to make the jump from the TV block to the website, or more importantly, few even cared that Kids WB was still around. To most of the world, Kids WB ended in 2008.
Yep.
The website would stay in the form it launched as, and in 2009, refreshed the brand's logo. The update emphasized the B of WB and tightened the overall logo design.
That shit is terrible.
The KidsWB.com hub quickly became much more of a cheap promotional area for content produced under Warner Brothers Family Entertainment, and in 2013, a large percentage of video clips were pulled off the website. It came as no surprise when, in 2015, Warner Media found the KidsWB name so irrelevant, the hub was rebranded and redesigned again. The 5 websites were pulled into 3: DCKids.com, LooneyTunes.com, and ScoobyDoo.com. And in what could only be described as one of the laziest rebranding attempts by any company, the KidsWB hub became WB Kids, finally closing a door on a brand that was long since dead. The long-term legacy of KidsWB beyond the brand itself extended through KidsWB exclusive shows shifting to Cartoon Network. Mucha Lucha, The Batman, Crypto the Superdog, Shaolin Showdown, What's New Scooby-Doo, and Static Shock landed on Cartoon Network in the mid-2000s and stayed until the end of the decade.
Gotta catch them all. Well, Cartoon Network has them all. More Pokemon episodes than anyone, ever. The only way to get more Pokemon is to move to Japan.
Pokemon was the greatest showcase of the wider Warner Brothers leadership shifting programming momentum. After being the most prominent series on the KidsWB block for years, Warner handed the series to Cartoon Network in 2005 and would discontinue Yu-Gi-Oh's association with KidsWB, eventually moving follow-up Yu-Gi-Oh! GX to the network as well.
Of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, weekdays at 5. Give me your best shot. It's a new deal.
Yeah, my left ear really enjoying
Cartoon
this.
Network attempted to make the shift natural. Promos, bumpers, and identifiers promoted the new additions alongside the then-present lineup. However, the shuttering of KidsWB in 2008 and push of content over the prior 2 years to Cartoon Network was simultaneous to the elimination of many original cartoons and Cartoon Network originals. There's no proof that Warner Brothers used the influx of acquired and in-house animation to purposefully drop cartoons and Cartoon Network originals, but the timing is suspicious.
Their insane inventions on you. Johnny Test premieres Monday, January 7th at 4 p.m. It's High Test.
Whoa, who busted a grumpy?
Only on Cartoon Network.
By far, the greatest legacy series that originally launched on KidsWB was Johnny Test, which launched in 2005, jumped to Cartoon Network in 2008, and quickly became the rare exception. All other KidsWB transferred series would generally serve as filler between more popular Cartoon Network content, but Johnny Test became key to Cartoon Network's ratings for years, up to its abrupt finality in 2014. Animaniacs, the block's most iconic series early on, returned with new episodes for the first time this century, and a follow-up series to Tiny Toon Adventures titled Tiny Toon Looniversity will debut in 2021. Neither will be aired on a Saturday morning block, but instead released on the new and modern multimedia format. Streaming services. Animaniacs has debuted its first season on Hulu, while Looniversity will release in 2021 on Warner Media's overrated and overpriced streaming service, HBO Max.
Oh, Lord.
The heyday of Saturday morning cartoon blocks was an era when multimedia titans controlled you, your kids, and your family's time. An era when Oprah would have millions rushing to get in eyesight or earshot of a TV, when the evening news was your access point to the latest global affairs of the day. And unless your household had cable,
fuck that
your
bitch,
only
Oprah.
chance to
Fuck
watch
Oprah.
cartoons was to be awake on Saturday mornings. In that age of control, what made KidsWB special was the impressive effort in attracting and keeping its audience. From its self-reliant programming at launch, acquisition of Juggernaut's Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, expanded airings to weekday mornings and evenings, musical performances, and heavy promotion of premieres, specials, competitions, and giveaways for the audience. That's why, if you ask nearly anyone born in the late 80s all the way up to the turn of the century about Kids WB, there'll be a glimmer of nostalgia, happiness, thoughts of a great time long gone.
Yep.
Its death was inevitable, as both society moved away from prioritizing Saturday morning cartoons, and corporate ownership pushed the content that was so successful on the block to Cartoon Network. Saturday morning cartoon blocks will never succeed in a landscape where the viewer has absolute control. But we can look back, treat the era with nostalgia, and remember the days when they ruled.
Yep.
This is over an hour talking about one programming block that only aired for 12 years on television. As I said just now, Saturday morning blocks will never really exist in the way that they did in the past. Every attempt has fallen to the wayside rather quickly. But it was fun to look back, look at the bumpers, look at the programming that was popular, look at the trends and the changes in popularity. Watch the rise of Cartoon Network's attraction compared to that of Kids WB. How at one point Kids WB even rivaled Nickelodeon. These were all very fun things to research. And it gave me a really fun look back at an era that I am very nostalgic about. As I mentioned in a podcast a while ago, Kids WB is not something that I remember much because I had cable. My family had cable when I was a kid. I was born in the late 90s, so my cognizant knowledge of Kids WB is only from 2005 to 2008. I had no clue that the website existed.
Oh, no, you were youngin' then.
And I pretty much only remember the back half of its existence. Thank you all for actually going this far and watching the content.
You were youngin', my
This really
G.
did take a long time. As I
You
said,
you missed out on some good times.
In 2018,
Good
2018,
times.
got the script done in the middle of 2019 because I wanted to keep adapting it. Started editing it in the beginning of 2020.
All right, we get it, bro. We get it, bro. This cheesy ass music, man. Let's be real, man. And I'm gonna miss everybody. Come on, man. Come on, man. Kids WB is the GOAT, man. Let's be real.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's everything! That's why he's the GOAT!
There'll never be another Kids WB. You just had to be there. You just had to be there to understand why Kids WB is the GOAT. One of the GOATs. I still put Fox Kids in there as well, because if it wasn't for Fox Kids, WB Kids would have never came into existence. So I put it 1A, 1B. And then after that, it's like, it's up for grabs. I mean, you got Nickelodeon, you got Cartoon Network. Like, back in the early 2000s, bro, the cable networks that were kids channels didn't even try to rival with Saturday morning cartoons. Obviously, Cartoon Network never did it because they partners. Like Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network are pretty much the same boat. So of course they're not gonna step on Kids WB toes. You know what I'm saying? They gonna let Kids WB get their shows off, get that Pokemon off, get that Yu-Gi-Oh off, get that Batman off, get that Superman off, and go crazy. And then after that, and then, you know what I'm saying, around 12 o'clock, that's when all the good cartoons come on. Johnny Bravo. Next thing you know, you get hit with Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Nickelodeon didn't even try. And they competitors. Wasn't nobody trying to compete with Power Rangers and Pokemon. They was like, nah, let that Power Rangers and that Pokemon get off. And then around like 11, 12 o'clock, SpongeBob just on nonstop. All you getting, all the SpongeBob episodes come on. Then Rocket Power come on. Man, y'all just had to be there, bro, to understand, bro. This is the greatest. In my personal opinion, this was the greatest era of entertainment, bro. Was the late 90s, the mid to late 90s to early 2000s was arguably some of the best time for television and for you to just be a kid. Because you didn't need cable. That was the crazy part. You didn't need cable. You didn't need internet. You didn't need phone, TV, DSL. I'm showing my age. That's how I know I'm showing. I'm pushing 30, by the way. I'm pushing 30, by the way. But nah, man, you gotta understand, man. Back in these days, man, you didn't need cable, man. Even though I had cable, well, in my room, I had cable up to a certain point. Once Time Warner started getting out of pocket with they cables, with their prices, and their company was pretty much going down the shitter. Yeah, I didn't have cable in my room anymore. Sadly, everything was direct TV at that point, and you needed a monitor, and you couldn't just. They had to take a cord. They had to take the cord, put it in the man. Y'all just don't understand, man. When I lost cable video, that's when the Xbox and the PlayStation became my main go-tos, bro. Because at that point, around that point, man, like that's around the time like CW and My 24 was around and all this other bullshit. Like, man, look, man, Kids WB is arguably like I said, man, Kids WB is the GOAT. It's not even up for debate. It's 1A, 1B, Fox Kids, WB Kids. They both the GOATs in my personal opinion. Man, look, there'll never be another WB Kids though, man. WB Kids they just had it, bro. They just had it. Okay? But yeah, man, let's just go about do it for this one, man. I will see you all in the next video. RIP WB Kids. RIP Fox Kids, RIP Saturday morning cartoons in general, bro. So yeah, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.